Google shopping campaigns. If you're watching this video, you're trying to find out more about them. We're going to talk about what they are. We're going to talk about how to set one up and then how to connect it to all your different platforms, whether it's Merchant Center, GA4, or to Google Ads. First of all, what are they? They were originally called product listing ads. And I believe that name still exists for the ads themselves, little square ads, and has like the price and when you get it by, et cetera, all that stuff. And there's two different types. There's shopping campaigns, which is shopping campaigns, and that's the actual shopping Google shopping platform. So when you search for, say, rave clothing or something like that, you click on that term, but you there's that little highlight that says shopping. You click there, and you're able to compare all sorts of different um, competitor pricing, similar products, all sorts of stuff. It's almost like an Amazon, if you will. And then you have PMAX shopping campaigns. PMAX shopping campaigns is when you incorporate the exact same thing. You have the shopping component, but then you're able to incorporate that shopping component via a product feed into YouTube or display. And then, of course, you do shopping within that. So it's constantly showing the products on all these different platforms. Shopping campaigns, standalone shopping campaigns, is just shopping campaigns. That's all it is. And these are also called feed ads. If you ever heard that term feed, that's usually that's what it's usually alluding to a shopping campaign. Feed ads are also being part of the demand gen because it's a YouTube feed ad. So you may hear that as well, but usually it's for shopping. And this is really easy to set up. Now, why am I showing Shopify? I'm showing Shopify because if you ever get a recommendation, hey, I'm setting up an e-commerce store, what do you recommend? Your number one recommendation, my friends, is Shopify. You really should. I'm not paid by them. I'm not, in any way, shape, or form is my show ever paid for. I take interviews and all sorts of stuff, and my advice is first-hand advice. Like I do this because I've been down similar painful routes, and when I recommend something, it's not because I got paid. It's because I've had pain, not, you know what I mean. So it's speaking from experience. So with Shopify, right, it's such a turnkey element. They spend billions on their platform to make sure it connects smoothly with all these different PPC platforms. So here, after you add in the apps component, you add in Google and YouTube. It goes into your sales channel. From here, you connect the Google Merchant Center. You connect your Google account, and then I believe down here, yeah, there you go, Google Analytics. And so you connect all three of these, and it's very seamless, folks. It's not a hard thing to do. And a lot of times you get advice, or people. I've had 3 clients do this to me already, where they didn't have a Shopify, and what they did was they hooked it up through via a Stripe account. So whenever you hear a Stripe account, it's because they designed the site as with no e-commerce platform capability, and so it's just a site, and then the sales portion of it when they do a purchase is through Stripe, and it's okay. But Shopify is not that expensive. I think it's $200, $300 a year. I don't think it's even that expensive. But when you do it through Stripe, it's up to you to make sure it's connected correctly to the Google Ads portion, right? So you have to make sure the data layer is pushing through, the product information is pushing through, the prices are pushing through, all that stuff. And chances are, folks, it's being pushed through an Excel feed, right? So it's being uploaded on some Excel, then it's uploaded into Google Merchant Center. Why am I describing this? I'm describing this because if you're just listening to what I'm saying, there's so many areas where that can F up, right? So that's why I'm saying the API connection between Shopify and Google Ads, A plus. Like this, like I said, they spend billions. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't think you're slick. You're not, because every single time I've done a manual feed into the Google Merchant Center, there's been an F up all the time. So yeah. So after that, let's actually go to our Merchant Center. So let's go here. So here we go. So here we're at our Merchant Center for this account. And as you can see here, it's you have your products, right? And it's already been fed, right? So this is where it's really cool. So you really don't have to do much. This is all automatic. And I do notice it's not instantaneous, right? It does take 24, if not 48, if not 72 hours to connect and have a decent feed to make all of these show in stock. Like when I first did this with this account, all of these were like errors. So they were just like full of errors. And I got patient with it. And instead of like reloading, I just connected it, right? And this, lo and behold, it just fixed itself. So that's when I was talking about the API connection is pretty firm. It actually corrects itself. If there's an error here, like say if you get an error and it says, I'm trying to find one. I'm not sure if I can find one on this one, but if you do get an error, yeah, these are all pretty smooth actually. It's because you need to check on Shopify side, right? Because that's where it manages the information. So it sends all that product listing, those prices, the God, anything else like tax, etc. It's actually shipped into sent into Google Merchant Center, and then it's pumped out through the ads, right? Why is that important? Well, it's important because if you think you're going to correct it in Merchant Center, the price, if something's wrong here, don't do it here, do it in Shopify, because what's going to happen is if you can believe it, the information flows downhill. It doesn't flow up and down. It usually flows downhill. So if you correct it in Merchant Center, or not Merchant Center, in Shopify, it corrects it in Merchant Center, corrects it in the ad. See what I'm saying? So don't think if there's an error here, you can fix it here. Like you should go back to the Shopify product page or find out where the error is and fix it. Okay. So after you set everything up, we're not going to go too in depth in this. The one thing I want to show you is promotions though. This is kind of cool. So if you create a promotion, if you ever see like a promotion on a product listing ad or a Shopify a shopping ad, this is exactly where you set it up. Here you actually say like your country, right? And you enter like United States. And this you actually enter your promotion ID in your title, and then the code itself, and then the date range, and you create a filter by ad filter, and then that's where the product code will appear. And this is very seamless. I'm not going to go over this. This is actually very easy to do because I want to just kind of show you like just some cool things, but really keep it kind of focused to building campaigns. So now let's talk about building campaigns. So you connected this to, let's actually go back a little. Cool. So here you go to your online store, make sure that's connected. Or I'm sorry, ad campaigns, make sure that's connected. Let's take a look. See, link to Google Ads. That's another thing too. Like I said, make sure Shopify is connected to Google Ads as well. Make sure this is connected to Google Ads. Make sure everything's just connected because it's self-correcting itself. It's okay if it's all simultaneously connected. You just got to make sure that it's linked, right? And it's good that it's linked. Because your Merchant Center needs to be linked to the ads campaign. The ads campaign may have a direct feed into Shopify. And then, like I said here, if I go back to where I was, I think I actually have that. Yeah, boom, right? See here, there's a Merchant Center account, but it's also, see, boom, it's actually connected to the Google Ads account. It's also connected to the Google Analytics account as well. So that's good. It's not bad. It's actually good. So let's go back here. Okay, so we have all this cool stuff. All this stuff is built out, ready to go. It's not that hard to set this up. This is actually pretty easy. I would dare say you should have the client set this up. The reason why is because a lot of the addresses, the shipping information, all that stuff really, I mean, it does port it over, but there is some stuff they have to fill out. There's also some tax ID stuff that has to be filled out. And this is not necessarily, it's part of the ads component, but the client should be filling out a majority of this. You should just be connecting the pipes, doing a quality control. Make sure they understand that they have to control this because this is part of their business. And again, it's connected to Shopify. Now, there are people who just speak Google Merchant Center all day long. That's nice. But really, like I said, the client should probably control a lot of this stuff. Now, you should QC it. Like, for instance, one thing we do is reviews, right? So we actually have our same tech guy connects Judge Me to Google Merchant Center. We're able to connect that feed. Not many people know how to do that. We do. So that's very cool. But again, like, are reviews part of ads? They can be. I mean, luckily I have the resources that was able to do it. And we were able to connect Judge Me reviews into Merchant Center and include those within the ads. Because remember, it's Google Merchant Center controls a lot of it. So just keep that in mind. So let's go to the ads. Okay, so here we are. So let's go ahead and build a campaign real quick. So it's a little glitchy, so I have to do this manually, folks. I apologize for being a little slow. So if we go here, let's actually create one. Create a new campaign. Boom. That easy. Sales. So we have sales. And then we have purchases, right? Just like there. And then we have shopping, right? Just like we were talking about. Now remember here, you can pick Performance Max or shopping. You go in shopping. Products. So this is where your feed is. Boom. That's it right there. And then let's go down here. Standard shopping, Performance Max again, right? We want it to be more on the shopping, right? Because we don't want to be all over the place. And it depends a lot of times, folks, because sometimes you, like I said, you want that high reach. Sometimes you just want to be on shopping. It really depends. So hit continue. So let's call this YRV Dynamics Test. Perfect. Here we have the bidding. For this, it's a little limited. I would not recommend TROAS. You should not do TROAS right off the bat. It should be maximize clicks or manual cost per click. Let those primary, secondary conversions fill out that are ATC, IC payment method, which is add a cart, initiate checkout, payment method, and then subsequently a purchase conversion, right? Because you want it to fill up. And that's 30 conversion roughly in 30 days. Usually you can get away with 15 plus. I mean, in 30 days. I mean, it depends, but you got to make sure those mid-level funnels or mid-level goals events are populating. So as you're checking you should actually start with all of them with ATC, IC payment method. And then as that gets filled up, turn that off, make that secondary, and then keep the other primaries up. Initiate checkout, boom, that should be secondary. After that's 30 or 20 plus. And then payment method if you have that. But then so by the end, it's boom, just optimizing straight out to purchases all day long. And then that's when you set it for TROAS, sorry. Okay, so we set this for $20. I think this is how you need. Campaign authority priority. That's actually for when you have additional ad sets that you want to use. Usually you're just good with this one. I'm usually not too complicated with a lot of these, although I should dabble probably more in the medium one, but I get a lot of success with the low. And, I usually don't like that part. I usually keep it just search, because search partners is like YouTube. Display, which I don't see on here, which is good. You should never be clicking on that. But partners is fine if you want to include that. United States, boom, ad group. Okay, create campaign. Whoops. Let's go $2. I do want to see one thing. Let's go back. Default, additional settings. Inventory field. Oh yeah. So this is this is pretty cool. So this one, I almost passed this up. Inventory filter is where you want, say if you want to sell t-shirts versus pants versus shoes, right? This is exactly where you do it. So with the inventory filter, you do, I believe it's product type, and you do value. Yeah, see, this is a kids fashion brand. So we have dresses, tank tops, t-shirts, etc. So if you want to do this and dresses and what other product type do they have? Do they have shoes? What do they have? Oops. That's not coming up. But I think you see what I'm trying to do here, right? So you're able to pick different ones. So if you just want to set up a campaign for tank tops or for t-shirts or for dresses, this is exactly where you set it up. And again, when is a product type built out? It's built out when you do the Shopify platform, and then it exports it out to the product ads or the product site, right? Your website, and then disseminates that information to the merchant center, right? And again, this isn't Google Ads, so we're kind of breaking out which products we want to target. So that's how you do that. So if you want to do dresses, etc., it's actually at this part. And let's see here. Yeah, that's your okay. And yeah, that's right. That's your UTM tags. So let's go over here, create campaign. That's it. That's it. See how very unintimidating. Let's actually turn it off so I don't get billed. But that's how you build it out. It's that simple, my friends. So just going back here, let's actually go back to this part here. So again, if you ever have any questions, please give me a ring. I have a WhatsApp group just designed for buyers. Feel free to reach out to me on my link tree about that, or feel free to yeah, it's on my link tree, but it actually says like buyers section. Or you can email me. I'll just send you the link. But we do have Medium articles. We're actually on almost every major podcast platform. We have a podcast that's distributed, and then of course we're on LinkedIn as well. So thank you so much for watching and bearing with me. We'll probably do one on PMAX very soon. So thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. Thanks.